This is a photo taken by the National Museum of the American Indian, the Smithsonian Institution. This is Khipu category number 17, 8832. It's the second Khipu that was discussed in Marcia and Robert Ascher's article, Numbers and Relations of Ancient Andean Quipus. Just from looking at the photo, it's apparent that there are some different colors in here. There's a dark brown, a light brown, and a cord that's mixed. This diagram is based off of the observations made by the Aschers in that article, and we can see that there are 6 pendant cords. 3 of them are light brown, 3 of them are dark brown. It looks like they are kind of clustered together. This space here in the center is to make room for the subsidiary cords. From the photo we could see that there's no space. That's just for the diagram. There is, however, a space at the beginning of 6.5 centimeters, and the primary cord continues for quite a while after the pendant cord. There are no more pendant cords. There is a top cord, and interesting note about color, it looks like the top cord is a mixture of the colors of the pendants that it's attached to. In the previous Khipu, we looked at how the summation of the pendant cords was equal in value to the top cord. We're going to see if that holds true in this Khipu. Before we switch to the next diagram, there is one thing that kind of stands out. Let's take a closer look at the knots. So starting with the top cord, I'm going to zoom in, we can see a little better. These knots here, there's a single knot, and a space. With the distance between the 2 single knots, I do agree that they are different place values, but there is kind of this large space here. So I think it's very possible that this value of the top cord may not be 117, it might be 1107. There's really no way for us to know for sure. I'd like to see the summation in the pendant cords to see if we can support or reject that theory. Looking at the pendant cords also, I do see quite a large gap in between these cords. So again, these values that were recorded by Marcia and Robert Ascher, they might be, instead of 20, this one might be 200. So we'll look at that in the next diagram. And each has 4 subs. It's interesting that the top portion has 4 subsidiaries, the bottom portion has 4 subsidiaries, especially since like there's 1 dark brown and 3 light browns, and on here it's 2 dark, 2 light, and the number values aren't really matching. Like these cord values are 1, 2, 5, and 1, and up here there's 2 and 2, and then empty. So I'm not sure what value the subsidiaries are going to play. Let's check the math, but it doesn't look like there's going to be a very apparent mathematical relationship. Moving on then to the simplified diagram. So if we take the sum of these values on the bottom, it does equal 117. Let's take a look at if we use the alternate values. For example, if this wasn't really 20, it was 200, and this one was not 16 but 106, to account for that rather large space that we saw on the full diagram. So over here you can see, sorry, the numbers are a little bit squished, but if we take the sum of these numbers in parentheses, these are the alternate values. If that space was the tens place value, the alternate values would equal, the sum would be 1017, and this space would give the top value, the top chord, a value of here 100 or 1107. So I feel confident in the Ascher's designation of the top chord as having a value of 117, and then these bottom values as they are recorded. This number is just the ID, primary key in the database that is available on my GitHub. There'll be a link below. Looking at the summation of the values for light and dark brown chords, just the light chords equal 38 and just the dark brown chords equal 79. I don't see that those numbers relate to anything else, but thought it was interesting. And it was a very short Khipu, so that's it for today.